Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Ambassadors of Gaming. I am your host today, Ambassador Adam, and I have returned from hell to bring you my impression of Doom Eternal, for which my love is eternal. Where do I even start? This game is so overwhelming and mind-blowing. But they give you just the right tools for the job, which is killing every single demon you see. Now, I haven't beaten it yet. I'm currently on the 5th level, but anyways, let's get into it. So let me start off by talking to you about the very first thing you're going to notice when you start playing Doom Eternal. The graphics. Oh my god, the graphics are amazing. The levels have beautiful background scenery. The environment itself is beautiful and believable. The castle levels are very reminiscent of Hell, with the dark reds and browns with the color hues and color schemes. You even have these cages that are just like packed full of bodies that make it look like those wall panels in the original Doom games that just were people and bodies and faces and stuff. And it's awesome. There's so many nodbacks to the original Doom where they've just brought things straight out of the original games and updated the graphics on it. And it's amazing. The Earth levels are beautiful, broken, rundown cities, destruction everywhere, they're on fire. You can see giant demons moving around in the background. It's just the level design graphics are beautiful, and the sceneries are amazing to look at. So as you're running around killing everything, you're really going to enjoy the beautiful environments that you do that in. Now, the enemies, the graphics for the enemies are amazing. Every shot you take at an enemy will blow off chunks of flesh. You will see the damage from every shot you make appear on these enemies. And the glory kills, going in for a glory kill, there's so many different glory kills in this game. They really up the animations on the amount of glory kills they have. And it's just beautiful to watch. And the guns look beautiful, the moving parts are beautiful, everything about this game, the graphics are just A1. A very beautiful game. The blood, the explosions, everything is so satisfying to watch. They did a really great job when they did the graphics of this game. So now that I've just gloated about the graphics and just totally gushed and nerded out over them, it was a very beautiful game. Moving on to the gameplay aspect, a game has to do more than just look nice. It needs to play nice. And oh my god, does Doom Eternal play nice, ladies and gentlemen. I'll start off with just the controls mapped to the controller. For the most part, it's pretty much the same as Doom 2016. R3 is going to punch. L2 is going to use your special mods on your guns. R2 is going to shoot your guns. There's no aiming down sights in Doom. Doom's not a game where you aim down sights. Doom is a game where you run and you jump and you shoot and you punch and you rip and you tear. No aiming down the sights, which is pretty standard for a Doom game. Now, moving on to the gameplay aspect of the level design. Going through the levels is it's fun. You don't do a lot of backtracking. They're not linear levels. They're real big open area levels for you to just explore and figure out. And you'll find a locked door, and you'll go over here and you'll do something that unlocks that door, so you go back to that door. Not a lot of backtracking, actually. There's tons of moving forward, and oh my god, these levels are long. These are not short levels. This isn't sit down, play for 30 minutes, beat a level, move on to the next. No, this is like sit down for 2 to 3 hours playing the same one level. So if you're going to sit down and you want to play through one level in one sitting, make sure you have an hour or two to spare, depending on how good and how fast you can play through it. Just make sure you got a couple hours before diving into one of these levels. And now the gameplay mechanics for the enemies. Oh my god. Now Doom prides itself on a kind of combat chess. Each monster represents a different chess piece, and you're on the board just trying to take them out as you go. You got to prioritize. Certain monsters are harder to deal with than others. So you want to go after them first. Like, for an example, the Cacodemon. He's going to show up and he's going to start blasting these purplish fireballs at you. And he'll blast a couple a lot. Quite a few, right in a row. And it's going to hit you and mess you up pretty bad. So what do you do in that situation? What do you do when a Cacodemon shows up? You're going to switch to your shotgun and just lob a grenade in its mouth. That's going to blow up and will glory kill it. They have very specific ways to take down all the enemies. Like Arachnotrons, they have these turrets on their heads, and they will destroy you. They will tear right through you with those turrets. So you need to take your shotgun and lob a grenade on that turret, or use the assault rifle with the precision bolt and just boom, snipe that off. But you need to get rid of that turret before you continue to take down the Arachnotron, or you're gonna die soon. And the Revenants, you shoot off their rocket launcher shoulders. The Mancubus, those fat fuckers with the cannons, you literally shoot their cannons off. Every enemy has a very specific way to fight it. The game teaches you it, and as long as you learn from that and build your gameplay around all these different moving pieces and parts that just beautifully fit together, you're going to have a real fun time playing this game. Way more weapon switching, way more weapon mod switching. You will find yourself using every gun for a very specific reason and task. You're not just going to be aimlessly shooting. So if you are afraid that you're going to play this game and it's just dull, shoot, don't think, you are dead wrong. You need to be thinking fast, on your feet, moving at all times, switching to the proper weapon, and using the correct tactics to cut through the enemy swarms. As you go throughout the game, you'll be able to upgrade your weapons. You'll even be able to upgrade yourself. You'll pretty much build your own perfect Doomslayer that's going to help you play this game the way you want to play the game. The gun mechanics, the gameplay for the guns shoot beautifully. They feel beautiful the way you shoot them. The way, the different options you have for guns. How very differently each gun has a very specific task. It's like when you go to put in a nail, you're not going to use a screwdriver to put in a nail. Just the same way that you're not going to use a assault rifle to take down a Cacodemon. You're just going to lob a grenade in its mouth. The right tool for the right job, and you'll go through this game perfectly fine. Now the difficulty. It's nowhere near as hard as I originally thought it was going to be. I saw the trailers for this game, and I said, oh my god, I don't even know if I want to get this game anymore. It looks way too hard. They're constantly in the air. They're shooting while they're in the air. All this moving around and shooting, and I'm not good at doing stuff like that. I would never be able to do something like that. Well, guess what, everyone? The game came out, and I can do it. It's fine. The game makes it easy to play that way. That's the way the game wants you to play. So you're not going to find a difficult time trying to stay on the move. The game's going to help you do that. But if you do decide you want to stand still, you're going to die, instantly. Do not stand still in this game. Doom is not about standing still and shooting. It's about running, gunning, ripping, and tearing. I am repeating myself a lot in this video, but I'm just trying to drive through these points to you. Going on to the music. oh my god, I thought the music for Doom 2016 was A1. Couldn't get any better. This is Doom. Yes. But no. It got so much better. The music, oh my god, the music. They have tracks from the original Doom games that return into this game, redone, built up. You know, in the last game, they didn't want to go all heavy metal sounding with it, so they tried to go, I don't know, like a dynamic techno. Ended up sounding heavy metal anyways in the end. They decided you couldn't avoid that with Doom. They used chainsaws to make some of the songs in the last game. I'm not sure if they used the chainsaw for this game again, but they definitely went with the heavy metal for this game. And it is beautiful, and I love it. And I cannot wait for this soundtrack to come out, because I'm buying it the second it comes out. Listen to this music when you work out. Listen to this music if you get in a fight. You know, it's really invigorating music, and it's going to help drive you through the level, and it's going to give you that energy boost and that oomph when you really need it. And now that I've gone through the gameplay a little bit, just telling you guys my experience and how I feel, I'm going to go and tell you about the story a little bit. I'm not trying to spoil a lot here. I mean, it is an impressions video. It is somewhat of a review. But I'm going to try to not spoil the story while I talk about the story, if that makes any sense. Now, Doom is not a game known for its story. The original Doom games had no story except little clippets of text when you beat the game, and a couple things to read in the little booklet you would get with the game. Doom 2016 had a little bit of a story. It wasn't the main focus of the game. The main focus of the game was killing demons, so there wasn't a real big focus on the story. But now Doom Eternal has a storyline, and it helps explain that story through environments, through enemy placements, you know, through characters like Vega, who returns, that AI. You know, as you go throughout the game, you definitely pick up on more story without diving into all the archive files. You get all these little files on the side that you can read to get more into the story and learn more. And even Doom 2016 was like that. Actually, most of the story for Doom 2016 was in those. Now, for Doom Eternal, those are more like background information and more details you want on what's currently going on, because the game actually explains the story and shows you the story as you're progressing. There, you know, you have something you're doing in this game besides just killing demons. You know, Earth's been invaded, and you're trying to save the day. You have very specific tasks you need to go do to save the day. You know, it still focuses on the fighting and the gameplay, but there is more story to this Doom, and I love it. You know, you have your demons, and you have your sentinels, which are people like the Doomslayer, like you. And then you have these new things, these angel-like things. They're called Makers. It's just very interesting. Like I said at the beginning, I haven't beaten this game yet, so I haven't gotten through the whole story. But I am loving the story so far. I'm finding it so interesting. This game's just... I didn't think it could get any better from Doom 2016. I thought Doom 2016 was perfect. This game's like 100 times better, people. Like, I don't know what else to say. The graphics are beautiful. The gameplay's beautiful. There's a story. Like, wow, Doom. You really put your big boy pants on. Now, one last thing I want to touch on before I wrap this video up is the placement and the flow. You know, the placement of enemies, the placement of objects, just the placement of the levels. In Doom 2016, you would go through a couple corridors, maybe shoot a zombie or two, and you'd get to a big chamber, like a battle arena. And you'd go all out, and you'd go through a couple corridors, another battle arena, you know. The placement, it was okay, but the flow wasn't. The flow went from intense battles to just walking around through hallways to intense battles. The flow was a bit choppy in Doom 2016. Now Doom Eternal. The placement of every object in this game is beautiful. Everything is placed where it is for a specific reason. The explosive barrels normally are in the most pristine spots to just blow up like a small horde of enemies. You know, there's when you're not in a battle arena just waging war against a whole army of demons, because let me tell you, they throw way more demons at you. Way more enemies. When you're not fighting in these battle arenas, you know, there's still lots of enemies to fight. You're not going to walk into a hallway, shoot a zombie or two, and continue walking through an empty hallway. This hallway is going to have a couple enemies in it as you walk through the hallway. You know, there's very few moments where I find myself not killing something in this game. The placement of everything is, I think, just perfect. The secrets aren't too hard to find, but not too easy. It's just perfect. You know, if you look around, if you really look around and pay attention, you're going to easily find these secrets. It's not going out of your way too much. It's nothing too hard. I haven't had to look up a single secret yet. I've been finding them all just by myself. I normally have to look up a couple, find out, like, I really can't find this. Where's it at? The placement and flow of this game is amazing. Way more improved from Doom 2016. Actually, this game might have the perfect flow. As you go through the game, there's never a dull moment. If you're not killing hordes of enemies, you're fighting your way through a small, compact hallway. And when you're not fighting your way through a small, compact hallway, the game kind of gets an identity crisis. Not in a bad way, in a joking way. Sometimes this game thinks it's Super Mario. Like, there was one level where the ground was lava. There's these metal platforms that dropped if you stood on them for too long. And it literally had those flaming chains that spin around. Like, I had to stop for a second and go, wait. I thought I was playing Doom. What am I playing? Super Mario? But the platforming in this game, although I will admit I hated it at first. I did not like it. I don't want to play Doom for platforming, but it seems like something they really want to push on us nowadays, especially with all the jumping abilities Doom guys got. They really want to show that off in the platforming. The game has a bit of a skill curve. You're going to struggle at first, but as you learn the game, it's going to get easier and easier, and by the time you get to the end of the game, you are just going to feel like a massive badass. You know, I am the Doomslayer. I kill all the demons. No one can stop me. I am immortal. You feel like a god once you learn how to play this game. Now, if you do find yourself struggling, this is my favorite part about the placement and the flow and how the game works. If you find yourself struggling on a level and you just cannot seem to beat it, you have two options. After you die a couple of times, the game likes to slip you a little, call it a cheat code if you will. If the game notices you keep dying on one part, it's going to ask if you want to wear Sentinel armor, which is going to give you full shields and lessen oncoming damage. It's very helpful if you can't get past a certain part. Just die a couple times, power up that armor, you should be able to get through. Now, if you still can't seem to be able to get through, if you still keep dying, if you want to just give up, you can't get any farther, the armor's not helping you, how are you going to beat this? Just go back to the earlier levels, like the beginning of the game, and play through those levels again, because you can find one-ups in those levels. Every single time you play the level, the one-ups will be there. It's not like a get the one-up and it never shows up again. Every time you play the level, the one-up will be there. So you can always go back to the old levels and just play through them and stock up on one-ups and then go to the level you're stuck at. Like right now, I have 11 one-ups because I was playing the earlier levels and getting all the secrets. But yeah, that means 11 times that I die, instead of dying, my health will just go to 100. I love it. It's amazing, and it really helps just get through the more challenging parts of the game. Doom Eternal is an amazing game, and if you don't already have it, go buy it. It is definitely Game of the Year material. This has been my impression of Doom Eternal. Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe to the channel, and check out our Patreon for even more content. If you've already subscribed to our Patreon, we'd like to give you a special thank you for your support. Now, we meant to get this video out a couple days sooner. We didn't mean to be so late with it, but where I live, thanks to the virus that's going on right now, things have been very chaotic. So I'm just now being able to play the game enough to give my impressions on it. So sorry for the delay, everyone. We would have had this out a little bit sooner. Anyways, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay slaying.